post-COVID, can we even really say that? But this episode, we're showing you all the things that are finally opening up throughout our city and our country. It's next on the BreakThru Experience.
We just wanna motivate you, just trying to elevate you. In you we do believe. It's BreakThru Magazine. The time is now, we've gotta show you off. We wanna uplift and empower y'all. The time is now, we gotta show you off. We wanna uplift and empower y'all. We just wanna motivate you, just trying to elevate you. In you we do believe. It's BreakThru Magazine.
Welcome to the BreakThru Experience. I'm your host, Juanita Washington. We've been more than a year into a pandemic, and finally, we're beginning to see things open up. From movie theaters to gyms, we're finally able to see friends and loved ones. But what has life really been like for many of the small business owners who've had to pivot and make changes? Tisha Torres joins us now with Life After the Pandemic.
It's your girl Tisha Torres with BreakThru, and this episode is about life post-COVID, lessons learned and coming out better on the other side. My question to you today is, did you find purpose during the pandemic? Today I have joining me the one and only Miss Sharita Anderson, the one and only owner of Morgan Cereal Bar, the CEO, probably the line cook some days, the server, everything in between, right? Everything to the business.
Yes,
How are
ma'am.
you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining me.
Absolutely.
So I want to start this off because we recently did an event and you told your story about how it got started, and
Yes.
my jaw dropped. I was like, that is so dope. I don't think I would have the courage to do something like that. So quickly tell us how you got started.
So I originally went to London for the Olympics back in
wow.
2012.
Okay.
Yes. And while I was there, we experienced the cereal bar. The cereal bar was a lot different than what I created here.
Right.
But the whole concept of a cereal bar intrigued me, and I wanted to bring it back to my community. So I created the Morgan Cereal Bar.
That's dope.
Yes.
So we are currently coming out of this pandemic.
Yes.
And life as we know it is slowly but surely getting back to normal, if we could call it that, with the mask and everything else in between.
Yes.
But I like to look at 2020 as that relative that shows up for Thanksgiving dinner, but they weren't quite invited.
Correct.
And it's kind of like, sis, what are you doing here? And I'm ready
Yes.
for you to go,
Yes.
right? So obviously we experienced a lot with the pandemic. It shook the entire world, right?
Yes.
We had obviously COVID, which
Yep.
was a deadly virus. We also experienced civil unrest here in the United States, also here in Rochester,
Yes.
and the economic downturn.
Yes.
And I know as a business owner, the effects that could have had on you, obviously, in your business.
Yes.
So what was that experience like for you when Cuomo first announced that shutdown?
It broke my heart. It broke my heart because I employ between 17 and 20 individuals. And some of them are the head of their household. Some of them, this is their second job, but whatever the case may be, it was a source of income.
Right.
So the fact that I had to immediately send out a blast email to let them know that I am furloughing them until further notice was gut-wrenching. So that was the most honestly difficult part about the pandemic. We were only open for 6 months prior to closing, so I had not accumulated a lot of financial debt or things that needed to be paid because they weren't paid. So I wasn't concerned about that aspect of it. I was just more concerned about laying off my employees and what was I going to do next.
Right. It's a responsibility, right? To whom much is given, much is required. And I can only imagine the weight of that. And I can actually sympathize and empathize with it, because as a business owner, it was the same case with myself. At any point during the pandemic, did you question your why, either personally or with your business? Did it ever force you or put you in a place where you questioned that?
At first, I did.
Okay.
I was like, did I open at the right time? Did I open at the wrong time? But at the end of the day, I opened at the right time. And let me tell you why. Had the pandemic not happened, a lot of the funding that I was able to obtain, because I opened my business correctly, and I've had all my paperwork in line, and I took care of business, and didn't allow the business to overtake me, and as far as like doing things that I should not have been doing, because all of the income was coming in, the business was booming, things were going well. I didn't know 6 months later this was going to happen, so I'm glad I did everything the correct way. But doing that, I was able to obtain a lot of funding, a lot of grants, a lot of loans and stuff like that to keep business open and to enhance some of my business to the next level.
That is dope. I love that. So I love how you just said that at some point you kind of questioned, right? Did I open at the right time? And upon that reflection, you came back with the conclusion, I did open up. When I look back over my own experience with the pandemic, I found myself trying to find purpose in the middle of it. Do you feel like you found purpose in the middle of the pandemic?
I believe that my purpose was enhanced during the pandemic.
I like that.
Opening the cereal bar, I believe wholeheartedly that this is a part of my purpose here. The fact that I'm able to expand and provide other opportunities, I feel is enhancing my purpose.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely.
I love that. So in addition to the civil unrest, the economic downturn, and everything else we dealt with COVID, I found that our mental health was also being affected. I found myself talking to so many people, the isolation, right, the fear of the unknown, was having an effect on people, and I didn't realize about May, I was going through my own funk. I was worried about my business. I was getting phone calls every few weeks about the shutdown and my clients not opening. And I found myself kind of coming down a little bit. And I spoke to a friend of mine named Jessica, and she said something to me that gave me a new perspective. And she said, Tisha, at this point, the only thing we can do is come out better on the other side of this. And when she said that, it made me pause and sit back and say, okay, yes, this is what's happening. Yes, the world is upside down and halfway crazy. But how can I come out better than I went into the situation? In what ways do you feel you came out better on the other side?
I must say that the same feelings you had was the same feelings that I was having. And that is the same thing me and my team came up with as far as what are we going to do once we open back up? What's going to be different? So I was thinking about a food truck prior to the shutdown. The shutdown really helped. And I would say because I never would have found the truck that I got had we not been shut down, because the owner of the truck was going to get a food truck, and because his restaurant shut down, he wanted to get rid of it immediately. He didn't care how much was given to him, he just wanted to get rid of it. So I was like, I'll take it. I'll take it. So then from there started the process of that, and we were able to start the process so when we did open back up that the food truck was going to be available. We worked on new menu items so that when we open back up, we can offer more than what we did before we opened. And just being able to start catering for different private events, that as well, and opening up our facility for people to be able to rent the space as well.
I love the fact it seems like you almost took advantage of the pause to reflect. And
Yes.
a lot of times I tell people that our growth is dependent on that reflection process. And listening to you and your story, it almost feels as if as you discovered your purpose, or like you said, it was enhanced, you begin to walk into all those things that was waiting for you in the midst of the storm.
Yes.
And a lot of times
Absolutely.
I tell people when they're trying to discover their purpose or trying to make sense of something, to pay attention to the cycles in their life. I always encourage them to ask themselves questions, right? And I tell people that your purpose will always answer the why questions. Why did this happen? Why am I in the midst of this? God, why is this pandemic happening? What's going on? Why is my business? You told me to start this business.
Right.
I'm 6 months into it, and now I got to shut the doors.
Yep.
Bro, like I talk to Jesus like that. Bro, what is happening?
Right.
And I tell people to ask yourself when you're in the thick of that, how can I come out better? What did this come to teach me? And how can I come out better on the other side?
Yeah.
My last question to you is, what advice would you give someone who is currently in the process of either discovering their purpose or maybe just maybe still in the funk and in the thick of the pandemic and the weight of it?
What I would tell them is, number one, make sure I'm a spiritual person. So, of course, I'm going to say pray and seek God.
Yes.
And don't give up. The other thing I would say is, don't listen to everyone else around you, because if it's your purpose, they're not going to have the vision for your purpose.
Yes.
If God gave you something, they're not going to understand it but you.
Right.
So sharing that with other people, you got to be very, very specific in who you share with and what you share with them, because everybody is not going to see your purpose until your purpose comes to fruition. Then they're all like, oh wow, it happened to me.
Right.
So that is the advice that I would give them.
So I hope y'all caught that. Let your purpose push you into that destiny.
Yes.
Sharia,
Yes.
tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, you first can find me at 320 East Avenue every day except on Mondays. We are open at 7 a.m. and we close at 2 p.m. during the week. And on the weekends, we're open at 8 a.m. and close at 2 p.m. You also can follow us on our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Morgan Cereal Bar.
Y'all got that? Make sure you follow. Make sure you stop by. The Cocoa Puffs is on deck. The shrimp and grits and everything else that's on the
Absolutely.
menu. You can come in and get a little bit of everything. Sharia Anderson,
Yes.
the one and only owner of
Yes.
Morgan Cereal Bar.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you so
yes.
much for your time
Absolutely.
today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
My name is Tisha Torres with BreakThru. Stay beautiful and stay blessed.
Okay, so the ladies just gave us a lot to chew on, both mentally and physically, right? Because I'm a little hungry after seeing Morgan Cereal Bar. But we're here at the Lilac Festival, which opened last week. And that's the running theme, right? Many places are beginning to open up. So what plans do you and your family have for the summer? Jazzy T joins us now with what you can expect as we head into the spring and summer.
Welcome back to the BreakThru Experience. I'm Jazzy T, and I'm here at Frontier Field, where exciting things are happening. Today we're talking about what are you most excited to do post-COVID. Now, there are so many things that we missed out on in 2020, from concerts to sporting events, but I'm here to say that things are opening back up, and it starts right here at Frontier Field.
This year at Frontier Field, you will have to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test. So we hope that people are going to be willing to do that, and it's key to us all getting back together and back to where we feel like we're comfortable being around each other.
I got the game ball! It's so exciting here at Frontier Field. Opening day, Frontier Field welcoming back all the Rochester Red Wings fans. And I want to thank the president, Naomi Silver, for sitting down with us for that interview. Now, there's other exciting things happening. Remember music festivals? In 2020, the Rochester Summer Soul Music Festival unfortunately was canceled due to COVID-19, but they are back this year and tickets are going on sale June 1st. I got a little insight for you. So August 27th and August 28th. It will kick off with a tailgate party at Frontier Field parking lot. The Rough Riders are coming up. I'm sure there'll be a tribute for DMX happening there. And inside here, none other than Rochester's own Tweet will be performing, along with EU, doing the hey! We also, for our headliner on August 28th at the Rochester Summer Soul Music Festival, Boys to Men. I am so excited for concerts coming back right here to Frontier Field. In addition to sports getting back into full swing here in Rochester, what I'm most looking forward to post-COVID is going to get my summer at Seabreeze. Opening day at Seabreeze 2021 is May 22nd. You will notice a couple of things that are different in, for example, wearing your mask, having your temperature taken at Seabreeze, and they're also having 30%, so that's a limited capacity, only 30%, so make sure you get your tickets in advance. Now, if you're going down to Six Flags Darien Lake, they are opening on May 22nd, so the very next day, and they're actually going cashless for 2021. So in addition to you buying your tickets online, you'll be asked to bring a credit or a debit card to buy things within the park itself. So your concessions, if you need to buy a mask, if you forget yours at home, you'll need to have a credit card. Now, if you show up and you only have cash, they're actually doing something really cool with the kiosk. You'll be able to buy a Darien Lake debit card so that you can go ahead and enjoy, even though Darien Lake is cashless this year. So make sure you get your tickets, reserve online, and get ready to have a great summer 2021 post-COVID with BreakThru Magazine and the BreakThru Experience. I'm Jazzy T, and I'll see you on the ride.
Wow, I can't wait to attend a Red Wings game soon. But what to wear? Coming up next, Sherry Jones joins us with this week's Fashion Fix right after the break. In search of your next career move? Consider Jordan Health.
What makes Jordan so unique is you can really learn here. It's like family here. It's like family, basically. Yeah. I love it. I love that Jordan.
So I decided to come to Jordan because this was a place that I came to when I was a kid, and my family chose to come here when we first came to America. So as a way to give back to those that are newly arriving in the community at large, I've decided to join here and be employed at Jordan.
What are you waiting for? Do it. This is an opportunity for you to give back as well as for you to get. I often say, I think I get more out of it than what I actually give. So stop waiting. Go ahead and do it.
Don't wait a second longer. Take a look at our open positions and apply today at jordanhealth.org because
we are Jordan.
We are Jordan.
We are Jordan.
Welcome back. Okay, so we're finally getting ready to go outside. What are we gonna wear? Sharon Jones joins us with this week's Fashion Fix.
Hi, this is Sharon with BreakThru. I'm here with your Fashion Fix of today, so let's get into it. So as you know, we're in post-pandemic season, and the trends have not changed. We're still looking at loungewear. Look for anything in tie-dye, anything more relaxed. We're still wearing those things in the home and outside of the home as well. Slippers are especially a big thing right now. The UGG, Fluff, slippers, or Crocs. Crocs have taken off, so those are phenomenal for where we are right now. Also activewear. Any activewear can take you from the gym to the supermarket. So those are really big. And as you can see, the lady in the gray is wearing a cute activewear set that she can just go from the gym to pick up groceries or pick up the kids. And also sneakers. Sneakers have taken over as well. There's more of a retro vibe going on. So you're going to see your Pumas and your New Balances, as well as your Balenciaga boot sneakers. And there's many versions of them. So those are mainly the things that you will see post-COVID: activewear, leisure wear, slippers, the Crocs, like I said, and face masks are not going away right now, as well as your sneakers. So if you like what you heard, feel free to follow me on Fashion Forward Edition, Facebook, and Instagram pages. See you later.
Now that we know what we should be wearing for the spring and summer, it's time to unmask. The CDC says if you're fully vaccinated and outside socially distancing, you can take those masks off. But what does that skin look like underneath there? Let's check in with Raina Brooks on what to prepare for your skincare. This week, the CDC announced it will begin relaxing COVID safety guidelines and allow anyone who is fully vaccinated to remove their mask while outside. And it's right on time for business owners like Raina Brooks with the Mobile Spa, who says she's beginning to see a lot more clients coming in.
The number one thing is actually skincare, because a lot of men and women have been suffering from masking.
It's been more than a year since we've seen the faces and smiles of our friends and loved ones. The COVID shutdown not only kept us inside or masked while outside, but it also resulted in a lot of snacking and poor health choices. And believe it or not, Brooke says those choices have a huge impact on your skin.
Start eating for your skin. Like eating a lot of watermelon, celery, tomatoes, oranges. That has like a lot of water in it. So if you're a person that's like, oh, I don't want to drink a lot of water, replace it with fruits. You want to stay away from sugars, especially in the summertime, because that helps with speed up the aging process.
Brooks also developed products to help clients maintain a skincare regimen, but she admits it takes a commitment to live a healthy lifestyle to see the results you want.
Before, it was just like, get your products, get this, get that, but you really got to change your diet, because what goes in your stomach comes out in your skin.
Brooks urges everyone to pay attention to their overall health, because beauty is more than skin deep.
Skincare is healthcare. So whether you know it or not, taking care of your skin, whether you're doing from the inside out or the outside in, is something that has to be done.
You can learn more about the Mobile Spa and their services online at themobilesparock.com. Thanks for joining us on this week's BreakThru Experience. I'm your host, Juanita Washington. Next week, we're talking faith over fear. What does that faith walk look like? That's coming up on next week's episode. But until then, stay connected at BreakThruMag.com.
We just wanna motivate ya, just trying to elevate ya. In you we do believe. It's BreakThru Magazine. The time is now, we've gotta show you off. We wanna uplift and empower y'all. The time is now, we gotta show you off. We wanna uplift and empower y'all. We just wanna motivate ya, just trying to elevate